All right, guys. Chapter 19, waste. So how do we dispose of the waste we produce, and what are some of the problems we face with our waste? Well, there's different types of waste. The first one we've got is solid waste, right? So we have solid waste. We've got 20 million. Oh, I want my different colors. So U.S. generates just under 10 billion metric tons of solid waste every single year. I believe it is. Just realized it's bugging me. My pen's not coming up. Draw. There it is. Give me more colors. Thank you. Gold. Let's go with gold. Okay. 10 billion metric tons of solid waste. Let's go to slide 1. So let's talk turkey. The average amount of food each person in the U.S. wastes. So we throw out every single year. I want my different colors. Is 288 pounds. That's how much food we throw out every single year. That's 29 turkeys per person per year. That's how much food we throw out. Okay? The cost of food discarded for the average family per year is $2,275. Okay, y'all can't see that. I know you can't. There we go. Okay, $2,275. That's 25%. The amount of the United States freshwater supply that's used to produce food that's thrown away is 25%. So 25% of the freshwater that we already have very little of, 25% is used on food that we just throw away. We gotta do better, people. So, we gotta be aware of what we're doing. All right? We're gonna get there. We'll be aware. So, solid waste. Any solid discarded material. Today, many places are running out of space to dispose of trash. Population of waste is growing while land per person is shrinking. It's getting smaller. Two materials most waste is made of is biodegradable, which means it can be broken down biologically and absorbed by the environment, such as plants and animals, waste, newspapers, cotton, leather. Or it's non-biodegradable, which means it cannot be broken down. Synthetic materials like plastic, nylon, polyester. All right, so let's talk about this. We have biodegradable material, your fruits, hair, believe it or not, hair is biodegradable, and papers. And then you have non-biodegradable papers, plastic, hardware, like a computer, bottles, your plastic bottles. Not using plastic bottles if you can, please. Okay, I'm gonna switch. Let's go green. Okay, although plastics are made from petroleum and natural gases, the hydrogen and carbon are combined in ways not found in nature, so they can't be broken down by microorganisms. You've got two types of solid waste. You've got municipal solid waste, waste from households and businesses. This is only 2% of the solid waste produced. 2%, that's not a mistake. Okay, and then you've got manufacturing, mining, and agricultural waste that make up the rest, the remaining 98%. Manufacturing is 56%, which is scrap metal, plastics, paper, sludge, ash. Then you have mining, that's your leftover rock and minerals, and agriculture, your crop waste and manure. I'm changing pen color. Blue. Solid waste management methods include landfills, incinerators, recycling. Landfill is a permanent waste disposal facility where wastes are put in the ground and are covered each day with a layer of soil or plastic or both. Okay, so I try not to do this. But what really sucks about this distant learning is that in your packet, you'll see that there was actually a lab where we were actually going to make our very own landfill in a bottle, and we did it last semester, and we put plants in the top and we grew it, and it worked out really, really cool. So if you're interested in doing it, you've got the instructions. If you did not get the packet and you're interested, reach out to me. I will gladly take pictures of the lab and send it to you so you can do it for fun. I'll give you bonus points if you want me to. I'll replace it with an activity. I don't care. But it was really neat. Okay. Landfills contain the waste, keep it from causing problems in the environment, and it's important it doesn't come in contact though with the surrounding soil or groundwater, because especially if you have a well in your area for your water for your home, imagine the landfill nearby leaches all of its pollutants into that water that your well connects to, and now you're drinking the water that's coming from that landfill, and you're going to get sick from it, right? So we don't want that to happen. Leachate is a problem. That's the liquid that passes through the waste. It picks up any kind of chemicals from the trash. Okay, methane is another problem. If you let it sit there long enough, it can blow up. So you have to have some way of having that gas get released and dispose of carefully, because that gas is actually very flammable. If you've driven on I-95 heading south towards Miami, and you've seen these big mounds, and you start looking at them carefully, there's a pipe, and the pipe's usually there's got a little flame at the top of it. That's the methane that's on fire. Start looking at them a little more carefully. You'll start seeing them. They've been making landfills much safer by having a stronger lining, because again, they're trying to prevent that leachate from coming out. They're also going to collect the leachate and treat it, and then they'll have methane vent pipes, like I just talked about, the ones with the pipe with the little flame at the top, so the methane is getting burned up and prevent a ginormous explosion from occurring. So here's a typical cross section of a landfill. So you've got your waste right here. Whoa, let's change that. And boom. Oh. Boom. There we go. Erase. Okay, that's waste. I'm just going to go on. That's your waste right there. That's your leachate collection. Okay, it's going to collect it right down there. You're going to collect it and make sure it's still collecting. Make sure it's not going. It's going in here and nowhere else. Okay, you've got that compacted soil. You've got sand. You've got all these liners right there. You've got leak detection, right? Because if your leachate is collecting right here, then this right here should not have any leachate in it whatsoever. If it does, you've got a problem. So it's a backup plan. Okay. Trying to see if there's anything else missing. I think that's everything. You've got the 2 inches of soil, topsoil. You've got grass growing on top. Hopefully with everything there, it's as foolproof as you can possibly have it. Okay? Problem is, this stuff takes up a lot of space. All right, incinerators. This is where you are going to incinerate. You are going to burn the waste. It reduces the waste, but it doesn't disappear. They don't separate the trash. So some of it gets burned and shouldn't get burnt. Like cleaners, batteries, etc., which end up polluting the air. The ash has to be put in a landfill, so you still end up having a landfill. Obviously, it's a whole lot less. Now, so what can we do about it? Well, let's look at your source reduction, producing less waste. Why in the world do I have a picture right here of Colgate? Well, we all agree that's toothpaste, yes? So it's a bottle of toothpaste inside a box of toothpaste. And in the bottle, you have that little silver protective slip right there. So you know for sure nobody else has tampered with it or opened it, messed with it, sucked on it, whatever. Why do we have all that? And I have to pause because apparently somebody's at my door. Sorry about that. So why do we need a box to go around the toothpaste that already has a protective seal on it? We really don't. So if we took that box out, that would be one way to reduce waste, just something as simple as that, okay? And some countries have actually X'd out and said you cannot put a box around toothpaste. There's no need for it. So something like that. We're not asking for crazy. Sometimes it takes just a simple change. And you'd be surprised how much that simple change will impact the world, okay? Change design, manufacture, or use that reduces toxicity. All right, buying less stuff, right? With less packaging, things that last longer. Recycling. Reusing or recovered materials from waste or scrap. This is going to save us energy, capital E for energy, water and resources. Steps in recycling are collection and separation, cleaning it, and make it ready for reuse, manufacture into new products. New products are resold. Buying recycled products increases demand for these products. Composting. Ever heard of composting? It's where you take like plant and animal matter that can be broken down organically. So like your fruit byproducts, so like a banana peel, your apple core, eggshell, and you put it all into a small little compost trash can in a dark, moist place, where there's not a lot of, access, because it can be a little smelly, and it breaks down, and then you add it to your own soil outside, and it is great fertilizer. That's what it becomes, okay? Creates this dark brown, nutrient-rich material, food waste, yard waste, manure, sewage. All right, so let's go to our slides 4 and 5. So what can I compost? I really like this. Is cute. So all the greens, vegetable scraps, fruit scraps, tea bags, coffee grounds, filter paper, seaweeds, used hops, old flowers, and nettles. Nettles are the stems of some of their flowers. Grass cuttings, bedding plants, weeds, your browns, your eggshells, your peanut shells, corn cob and stalks, egg and cereal boxes, garden prunings, and I'm gonna let you read the rest. Do not, however, include meat and dairy products. So no butter, cooking oil, no rice, no bread products. Interestingly, all the stuff that's actually kind of not the best for us necessarily. Diseased plants, only healthy things. Unused personal products soiled with human blood or fluid. Okay, makes sense. You don't want to add biohazard material into the garden. So now let's do this little questionnaire. A train ticket. How long does it take a ticket, a piece of paper ticket? How long does it take for garbage to compost? A train ticket takes 2 weeks. An orange peel. How long do you think an orange peel takes? It takes 6 months. Milk carton takes 5 years. A tin can takes 50 years. Batteries take 100 years, guys. Plastic bottle. Takes 450 years for your plastic bottles to disappear. Every single one of those plastic bottles disappear. So, I mean, if you can use something other than your plastic bottles, please, please, please do so. Okay? So, making changes. Buying things in bulk. Buying things that are environmentally friendly. Recycling. Buying degradable plastics. Making degradable plastics. Something that is photodegradable. Basically breaks down if left out in the sun. Green plastics. made from plant sugars and breaks down in 45 days. There's more and more of this occurring, which is really cool. Problem with this stuff though is the biodegradable parts break down, but the rest does not. It's just in smaller pieces. Hazardous waste, waste that is a risk to humans or other living things. It often contains toxic, corrosive, explosive material, your dyes, your cleaners, your solvents, your plastics, your pesticides, your chemicals, etc. All right. Every so often, I think it's about usually once a year. The last time was March 30th, 2019. So I don't know if there was one this year considering COVID and everything. Nassau County is going to say we forgive whatever nasty hazardous material you have. Please bring it to us and we will dispose of it. This is everything you can bring. You can bring aerosol cans, batteries of all types, cooking oil, corrosive fertilizer, fluorescent bulbs, gasoline, fuel, insecticides, oil filters, paints, paint thinners, pesticides, acceptable electrical waste. So DVD players, keyboards, pagers, power tools, radio, scanners. So technically none of that stuff is supposed to go in the trash. We're supposed to keep it, and on this one day a year, we're supposed to bring it. Here's the thing. They are only open from 8:30 to noon or until they reach capacity. That is how much of an issue this is, you guys. So, it is located in Callahan. Here's a phone number. Keep this easy of access. Here's the actual address. So, where are the hazards in your home? They're in the garage. Antifreeze, probably don't have a lot of that. Car batteries, if you change out your car battery yourself, you might have that. Car wax polish, engine cleaners, gasoline, motor oil and filters. If you have boats, if you have any kind of ATVs or something like that, that might be an issue for you. Radiator flushes, transmission brake fluids. In the home, aerosol spray, ammonia-based cleaners, batteries, drain cleaners, furniture polish, oven cleaners. Technically all that stuff we're not supposed to get rid of. The workshop, fertilizers, pesticides, sealants, swimming pool chemicals, weed killers, wood preservatives. Guys, I know how hard this is. I know how impossible this is. I'm not telling you to go out there and not dispose. I'm just saying, technically, we're not supposed to dispose of the stuff. I'm trying to make you realize how much of the stuff we are getting rid of, probably unknowingly, that we're really not supposed to. It's really kind of, hopefully, an eye-opener for you. And hopefully it makes you think twice about some of the stuff you're getting and see if maybe there's other thing you can get to try and compensate and minimize the waste that you have. Resource Conservation and Recovery Act, RCRA, requires producers of hazardous material to keep records of how their wastes are handled from production to disposal. Disposing of hazardous waste is expensive, so it's tempting to dump illegally. Then you have the Superfund Act. Okay? This is the Environmental Protection Agency can sue you for dumping illegally and force you to clean it up. The cleanup is even harder and more expensive. The EPA, Environmental Protection Agency, also created a fund of money to clean up abandoned hazardous wastes. Hazardous waste management methods. Number one, prevent it. Produce less of it. Find alternatives. Reuse it. Convert it. Treating it to make it less dangerous. Land disposal. Disposing of it on land, there's three ways. Number one is a deep well injection. Pumped deep into the ground below the groundwater supply and covered with cement. Another one is surface impoundment. Pond with a sealed bottom. The waste accumulates and settles to the bottom while the water evaporates away. Barrels are buried in landfills. For really bad stuff, they need to find places that won't be damaged by movement of the earth for thousands of years. You've also got biological treatments. With biological or chemical agents that will break down or absorb the waste, such as bacteria that can eat it or plants that can absorb it. Again, incinerating it. Expensive, needs pollution control. Ash needs to be buried, if it's possible to bury it. Exporting it. Sending it somewhere else. It's not nice. It's called the Not in My Backyard. You're okay with it done as long as it's not done in your backyard. The problem is eventually it ends up at someone's backyard. Hazardous waste at home would be your motor oil, your paints, batteries, computers, cell phones, chemicals, cleaners. Dispose of these items properly. Special sites where they are treated or disposed of appropriately. So what I'd like to ask y'all to do is just for a week, try to really keep track of how much trash you produce by you, just you. So if you can, get like a Ziploc bag or one of those plastic containers and try to keep your trash to only fit in that. Just for kicks. See if you do it. All right? If you do it, send me a picture of it. I want to see if you're able to do it. Because we would normally do a competition between the two class periods with Mrs. Peters and see which group had the least trash, and then that group gets stickers. So, all right, good job, guys. See you on the next one.